Just imagine you are an NFL football player and you're one of the best in the game, and all of a sudden it is stripped away just because of a belief that you have towards a certain race of an issue. How would that make you feel? How would you feel just one of the worst individuals that stepped on the face of the earth? Well, there's an NFL football player named Colin Kaepernick that has struggled to ever make it back into the NFL just because of this issue of racial inequality. An article from Independent by Clark Mindeck that had an excerpt of Colin's beliefs, which he says, "I am not going to stand up to show pride for a flag, a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look onto that other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid and leave to get away with murder. One of these individuals like Colin Kaepernick could be one of your family members. How would you treat them?" Today I'd like to talk to you about this first common issue of racial inequality amongst the NFL. Second, how does these affect the NFL players off and on the field as a well-being, and finally being able to examine the freedom of rights of an individual for them to be able to express their own belief. Well, I'll begin by telling you this common problem of racial inequality amongst NFL players that surfaces around the world. The problem that is on the table right now is that NFL players that express their belief by kneeling for the national anthem are being accused of lack of patriotism. This stand-up towards police brutality and social justice is dividing us from our ability to be all as whole as a nation. I thought we were made of this land of freedom, but it seems like it's being abolished nowadays. This trend became a movement in the regular season of the NFL that was originally started by Colin Kaepernick a year ago, which other teams began to notice and follow along, like the Denver Broncos, Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs, and New England Patriots, which was written by James Brady of the SB Nation in 2018. Prior to that year, it made a resurgence on Sunday with approximately 12% of NFL players either sitting or standing or kneeling for the national anthem, according to ESPN's Darren Rovell, which was produced by Sports Ringer of the Smoke Room. This is quite a few players that has had us affected, which goes on to show that there's a problem that is occurring and no one has actually stepped to fix this problem, and it's ignored by our government. Understanding the importance of racial inequality in our society is really important. Is kneeling really what makes that individual so rebellious? A powerful speech icon in the 1960s named Martin Luther King championed peaceful sit-ins, kneel-ins, wait-ins in order to awaken the conscience of the white man, which was written by Kelly Grovier by BBC of 2017. Colin Kaepernick is doing what other individual that has patriotism would do, which is addressing this issue that is amongst the nation and being able for others to understand it. I'm sure that you can envision this problem, and if NFL players are trying to express their belief, also the importance of an individual being able to express it. You might be asking, well, how do these affect these players overall? Well, let me tell you. Well, these NFL players' overall status is quietly affected over this. After week 2 of the season, there was a statement that came out that the Miami Dolphins instituted a policy that would suspend players up to 4 games if they partake in kneeling, which was written by Daniel Chayton of Washington Examiner in 2018. These individuals are pursuing a career and once dreamed for, and then all of a sudden it is taken away from them just because of a belief they have towards a certain issue, and they're viewed as a terrorist in the economy, which, is a bunch of you-know-what. Our so-called President Donald Trump spoke upon these new rules placed by saying, well, I think that's good. I don't think people should be staying in locker rooms, but still, I think you still have to probably for the national anthem, or you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country, which was written by Adam Edelman and by the NBC News in 2018. This lack of actually taking the time to advocate these players is beyond me. These players have to be silenced about their beliefs and accept their surroundings just because our government doesn't want to do anything about it, which is just ridiculous. You can see the complexities of being shut down to express a certain belief to better your environment. Now let's look what may happen if you choose to advocate kneeling during the national anthem, or what if you do not agree on this whole standpoint. Well, let me put this into perspective with you guys. Would you want to be that individual that tries to tell a Catholic that they cannot pray? Obviously not. Who wants to be that individual to tell one person that they can't believe something or not? We all are different. That obviously means we have different beliefs. There is a movement that Colin Kaepernick has begun with Nike, which is this campaign, believing in what you believe, even if it means sacrificing everything. I highly suggest you guys join this campaign or take a look at it. Even the two biggest African American sport icons named Serena Williams and LeBron James are advocating this, which was written by Michael Orego, Rick Meese, and Mark Mask of the Washington Post for 2018. The only way we can make America once great again is being able to understand the other's beliefs and being able to express our own beliefs. To clear this once and for all, the First Amendment of the United States of America, which guarantees the freedom of religion, speech, and the speech of press, is right to assemble, the right to petition the government, which was produced by a fact monster. As you can easily see, being able to envision this respecting another belief by letting them express it is what it's like to be a true patriarch. I've told you this common problem amongst the NFL of this racial equality. How does others view it, and how does it affect them, their well-being? And finally, being able to examine the freedom of rights of an individual to express their belief. We all can become and understand the rights of everyone else and let them express their beliefs. What if a family member or a close friend was kneeling during the national anthem? What if a family member or a close friend that was, would you criticize them and call them a terrorist? Or would you accept of who they are, and no matter what they do, love them? Think of others out there who have their own personal belief they are trying to express and are told is wrong. I'm going to leave you with this short message from Colin Kaepernick, who is a former NFL quarterback and takes part of the NFL campaign of justice. Do believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Do not be afraid to believe.